did you arrive to the WWE? So who was the person responsible for signing you back on 2002? Do you remember your first match on WWE?
Uh, so you kind of responsible. I was around the developmental system and stuff like that. I was always, growing up in Memphis, started on, Channel 5, which was Power Pro Wrestling at the time, or US, before that USWA. Kind of was around the system. It started as Memphis Championship Wrestling. A guy by the name of Terry Golden kind of took it over, kind of had the developmental system at the time. Well, he was running, a bunch of shows, stuff like that. Actually, Paul Bearer, Percy Pringle, was one of the first kind of to see me and was like, basically, man, there's just something, something about him. He kind of looks like he could be like Undertaker's kid. Kind of thing, which was very cool. I'd always wrestled with Sid and was, like Sid's little brother. Now I'm Undertaker's, could be illegitimate son, except I'm way too old, and that would age the Undertaker a little bit too much. But it was definitely kind of definitely Percy. Kevin Kelly was a big instrumental in that. And then the guy that called me and told me that I had the developmental job was Johnny Ace. So little bit of everybody, moving forward like that.
So I'm going to translate that to Spanish now. En su momento dado, hubo varias personas que aportaron a esta llegada eventualmente de Kevin Fertitta a WWE. El primero fue Paul Bearer, quien lo veía como un hijo pequeño de Undertaker, el hijo legítimo del Undertaker en Memphis Championship Wrestling. De igual manera, Kevin Kelly tuvo la oportunidad de ver su trabajo y habló muy bien de él. Pero obviamente la persona que lo firma el contrato de territorio de desarrollo fue John Laurinaitis o Johnny Ace, y de esta manera es que él llega a la WWE en aquel momento dado. So, in 2004, you were already on contract with the company. You pitched an idea, according to the reports, of a religious character named Malaki to Vince McMahon. What happened to that idea, to that character, and how was that first, meeting with Vincent Kennedy McMahon?
So it was Malachi. So here in the States, there was a movie called Children of the Corn. So Children of the Corn was a scary kind of, horror movie where these religious zealots lived in a field, and basically they were all kids, and basically they, killed everybody in the name of, religion, I guess, in a sort of way. That was the first movie that made me sleep with the lights on when I was a kid. So that was just something that was, like, oh, okay, that's a cool character. One of the leaders that was, his name was Malachi, the Malachi name, I guess. Going in front of Vince, it was right after WrestleMania 20, I think. And it was me and Travis Tomko. We'd been up on the road a bunch, teaming together, doing tag matches. Basically, right after that, he brought us in the room one-on-one, and the first thing I pitched was, I want to be, hey man, me and Travis are doing great. We could go against the Dudleys. We could go against this. We could do this. And he goes, Vince with his glasses, he's peering at you, and he's just, it's just something about it. He's looking through, and his reading glasses, and he's basically, peering through your soul, and I guess in a way, and with that, it was, he looks up and he's like, well, I don't want tag wrestlers. I need singles now. What do you want to do? And I went, well, all right, I got this idea, like I was always 7 in OVW, deal with 7 deadly sins, stuff like that. My dad was a deacon in the church. I grew up in the church, all this stuff. So it just made sense. I knew a lot of Bible verses. I knew how to, kind of make it cool, and stuff. And that's kind of what I pitched to Vince. And, next thing you know, it was, yeah, Malachi's not going to work. We don't like that name. We want Mordecai. Okay. I mean, you're going to give me a job. Sure. Mordecai it is. I'll deal with it and go with it. I had to learn how to spell it like 5 times, but it worked,
So I'm going to translate this incredible story to Spanish. This was unexpected. Kevin Fertig en aquel momento dado propone una idea a Vince McMahon. Ella llevaba tiempo junto con Travis Tonko, también Tyson Tonko eventualmente en WWE. Llevaban tiempo en la carretera trabajando para la empresa, dark matches y de todo un poco, territorio de desarrollo. Y después de WrestleMania 20 se reúnen con Vincent Kennedy McMahon en su oficina por primera vez. Y están estos dos caballeros y entonces proponen ideas para trabajar con los Dudley, para trabajar con los mejores tag team de aquel momento dado. Y Vince pues tenía sus anteojos puestos mirando, lo estaba mirando ese ojo, pero miraba a través de ellos, como él dice, como espiando un poco su alma. Y le dice, bueno, yo no quiero luchadores de equipo, ya tengo suficientes equipos, quiero singles wrestlers, ¿qué tienes para mí? Y él dice, bueno, aquí es que viene la oportunidad y propone este personaje llamado Mordecai, que era de la película Children of the Corn, con un toque religioso, este monstruo, un personaje complejo que eventualmente a Vince le llama la atención y dice, bueno, perfecto, nos gusta, pero ese personaje no va a poder llamarse Mordecai, se va a tener que llamar Mordecai. Y él dice, bueno, tuve que aprender a decirlo como 5 veces, pero eventualmente funcionó. Y después que tú me des un trabajo, a mí no me importa, o sea, el nombre. And then after that, Mordecai happened. So we saw a lot of vignettes. It was a hot thing in WWE at one point. And there were rumors that Mordecai was going to have, a singles match or a rivalry against none other than the Undertaker. What happened to Mordecai? What were the original plans? And is that story about, that rivalry or possible rivalry with the Undertaker was correct or was just rumors from the internet?
Oh, no, it's 100% correct. And stuff. Let's just say I was a dumb young kid. And at the time, we ended up at a bar one night in Louisville, and basically there was another dumb young kid, I guess you could say, that decided he wanted to get in a fight that night and wanted to grab a bottle. And I don't know if you noticed, but I have a soccer ball of a head. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's big. And my head kind of met his head and so on and so forth. And yeah, let's just say, myself and WWE were getting sued and stuff. And it couldn't be done. I ruined an opportunity that was like no other, I guess.
So I'm going to translate that to Spanish. ¿Qué pasó? Me dice, pues sí, que sí es 100% correcto. Mordecai nace y sí iba a enfrentar a Undertaker, tenía todo listo, pero era un muchacho joven que no sabía mucho de la vida y pues decidió agarrar una botella aquel día y el resto es historia. Simplemente menciona que, pues, vamos a decirlo de esta manera, fue una situación grande que eventualmente WWE pues terminó con una demanda, al igual que él, terminaron demandado. Pero, pues, la oportunidad de su vida se fue de las manos por una mala decisión que tomó en aquel momento dado. Pero sí, se iba a enfrentar a Undertaker en una rivalidad que iba a marcar la industria eventualmente. So I believe Fabricio has the next question, and it is about, that moment. Fabricio, go ahead.
Thank you, Michael. So, Kevin, why you were released from WWE on the first place back on 2005?
Okay, say it again.
Why you were released from your contract originally back in 2005?
Oh, why was I released?
That's correct, sir.
Basically because of that incident. It was just not good for business. I had to go rectify some situations, fix some things, and I didn't. I mean, basically, long story short, I didn't give trust to WWE. I didn't give trust to Vince and stuff like that. So, you can't, give somebody the world, especially with, facing the Undertaker or something like that. If, you can't act like a human being sometimes, you know what I'm saying? So
So I'm going to translate that to Spanish. ¿Por qué dejan en libertad en aquel momento dado a Mordecai? Pues por el mismo incidente previamente mencionado. Era un joven, no tenía mucho conocimiento de la vida y pues obviamente WWE dejó de confiar en él en aquel momento dado y eventualmente pues ocurrió su despido de la empresa.